How are you? I hope you're well. Do I already see one person there? Is that Shiko? I just told my niece that I'm going live right now. Uh, so I'm glad she's showed up. How are you guys? Myself, I am well. I'm surprised I still have a voice. I've been singing all morning. It is that kind of a morning. I was washing my husband's house, changing things for winter, turning gray for winter, but accepting it, yeah, because we have no choice. You have to embrace all seasons of your life, the cold ones, the nice ones, the warm ones, the very hot. You feel like you're burning. Yes, because God is good all the time. Blessed of the Lord. How about you guys? I thank you so much for always being there for me. You have noticed the kind of mood I am in, yeah? Today I I fetched one of the old videos that I put together the collection of photos from everywhere we had gone and added them to a song, the song I recorded in 2009. And just that got me thinking. It took me down memory lane to all the places I've been going. And funny thing, the other day I was talking about a dream I had about a friend after doing that old ancient spirit that I was talking about, yeah. And so I got, I got to remember how I saw my friend in my dream. She was so downcast, yeah, and telling me that I always told my mom that I was always trying, but she didn't see that, yeah. So maybe for those who don't know, I posted a video just before this. I said it's a treat for those who believe I can sing, yeah. Yeah, so I had recorded that song, and it is also proof to tell you that I was always trying. You know, somebody can laugh at you because you've been a failure. And I remember one time, somebody came and told me that one of my cousins is very concerned because I'm always trying things and leaving. It's like I don't stick to a thing, yeah. And so I had moments where I was so downcast about that because I didn't actually know where do I settle, on what do I settle. It seems I can do a lot of things. I write and it becomes magic. Like from class 4, when we started writing, creative writing, I became the best instantly, yeah. So I've been writing all my life. I was always writing, always reading, always traveling in places. And then I have to tell you this story. I had a scandal in class 4 because I said my father lives abroad in America. And I was really truly attacked, and I had bullies around me, and they really attacked me, yeah. But I don't know why, for some reason, as they were attacking me, and I was, just seated there thinking, coming up with all the lies that I was telling, because they were like, oh, you're saying your father works in America, so how much does he earn? And I would say 40,000. I used to lisp, okay, and I used to get bullied, and like I was just a mess, And do you know what's so funny? One of the bullies, as soon as we finished Form 4, because we were always in competition. When you want to know people, look, even when they're kids, yeah, they are built a certain way. So are you, okay? You're built a certain way. God already installed what his plans are for you, He already installed that thing in you. I was about to ask my mom before I came on, did you ever dream of going to America? Because I did. So anyway, at the time they were bullying me, I saw America. They pressed until I saw a vision in class 4. I saw America, okay? And I couldn't tell them that I just saw America because I'm supposed to have images of America from my father's travels, right? Anyway, after Form 4, that's how I tell stories. In case you're meeting me for the first time, I go around in circles. After Form 4, this girl that was bullying me and was actually a friend. Have you ever had a friend who is a bully? Actually went abroad to America. We met at the time. She was looking for funding. She was always a hustler, very competitive and all that, yeah. So she went to America and we would talk years later. I have a baby. I feel like I'm shackled in this life. After Form 4, that was a primary school friend, yeah? And another friend I had in high school went abroad, okay? So then me, see, I got a baby. In fact, the friend who went after I cleared Form 4 sent me a letter to try and get myself a green card, okay? I hid that letter because I was in love with my husband. I hid it even from my husband because he would have, insisted, you should do this, yeah? He used to tell me, you'll be so wealthy if you play your cards right. Me, I just wanted to be in love. So anyway, I got my baby at 21. I was, I was now beginning to hustle and sew pepper, working, I think earning, finally at the time I'm moving out, I was earning like 5K. With my baby, I decided we go and start life, okay? So later, I would later, no, that was after the episode of being invited to apply for a green card. Then later, so many years later, at the time I'm beginning to, to plan for Canada, that very last time, I met my friend who went abroad, yeah? And she told me, you know what, you're going to go, okay? You're going to go to America. And for some reason, I believed her, yeah? When the time is right, the Lord will make it, will make it beautiful. And you know what? People will tell you that it is time. Yeah, people will tell you, they will tell you things like, you look like you're going to America. You look like you just came from abroad. You look a different way you are going. Okay, that is what happens when seasons change and your time has come. Okay, it is so funny that at the time we were being denied our second visa, God used the same thing. Yeah, God, you put me in a dream with a friend who left after we cleared Form 4, that is senior high. Yeah. And in this dream, I was pregnant and I met her and she was also pregnant. So I was like, hey, where are you going? And she told me she's going to a maternity hospital. So I joined her, yeah? We both went to give birth. So as soon as we got in, she was put on a bed and her baby was removed, her baby boy. For me, when the doctor came to me, he was like, your way hasn't opened, yeah, like your cervix isn't open. So I would suggest you go exercise, keep walking until the baby comes down, okay? And so I was like, since my kids are still in school, can I go pick them? And then we'll come when I'm ready to give birth. He was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Keep walking, okay? So when I went to pick my kids from school, I used to live in Huruma, for those who know Nairobi. And my kids used to attend Moi Forces school. So I went in, and when they saw me, they were like, Mom, where's the baby? Because they were aware I'm going to get a baby. And I said, oh, the baby hasn't come. I have to keep walking. And they told me, Mom, we will help you. Okay. So they took my hands and we kept walking. They told me, let's go to our field and keep walking. When I woke up, I knew we would not get that visa. And for sure, I went to the VFS in Parklands and the answer was denied. I could not believe these people. I was like, I had been accepted to my husband's school. What is going on? Didn't they get it? Was there something we missed? Denial is denial. At the point where you're denied, it's information. It's over. For that season, it is over. Get to walking, okay? So keep walking. So though it is delayed, it is not denied, okay? It is just for that season. So the dream shows, my kids say, we will help you walk, okay? So we continued to do our lives in Kenya until the next time. And we were denied again, okay? We were denied the visa again. This time it was my husband who had applied because he felt like you're doing something wrong, you know. Anyway, he tried. He applied as he was applying for his student visa for the last time, yeah. And this time, even my neighbor told me, I had a dream that you are leaving, and we were keeping it top secret. So I was like, hey, if God revealed it to her, I should tell her. So I was like, yeah, we are going. And she said, yeah, I dreamt you were going and you sold me your cake things. So we sat down and wrote a list of cake things that I was to sell to her. We were denied. That was in 2014. And I was like, I am not crying again about this. Let us, and I was like, Habi, see, you had put some money aside. Give me, I expand my business. So I expanded my business. Okay, that's a spiritual principle. Expand the place of your dwelling, or expand extend your house. Okay, when you expand, and this is something that had been told to me long before. A friend of my sister had told me, from experience, a lot of people refuse to invest when their spouses go abroad because they think they will soon follow. So I would suggest you invest. And I was like, what? Nope. I'm going soon. I wasn't going soon. So anyway, I was like, me, I'm not crying about this anymore. I'm going to establish a business and make it huge. I did not know it, but God was using that last time to give us resources. Okay, so in that period that I had my business open, I got all the resources I needed, so I could shut up. Because if I didn't have money, if we didn't have enough to facilitate that move, I would have spoken to people and told them, but this time God wanted me to be quiet. Nobody dreamt that I was going, and if they did, they didn't tell me. Okay, so all these other things were confirmation. Okay, so when the time is not right, nothing is going to happen. But when the time is right, no witch, no hex, no devil, nothing will stop you. When the time is right, God makes everything beautiful. Okay, so in 2017, I wrote a vision. In 2016, overnight Kesha, I wrote a vision, and I said, God, please provide us with the visas and the tickets. Okay, and by April, we were almost to that place. Yeah, so I think we got our visas in June, and we just everything fell into place. My neighbor was like, I want to buy your car, and she bought the car. I bought tickets, I was selling my things, people were ready to buy. Everything was bought. Everything fell into place at God's time. Okay, in the meantime, a lot of things had happened, a lot of rejections, a lot of hate. Yeah, I experienced a lot. Okay, but I would say now, as David, it was good I was afflicted, so I may learn your decrees. Had I not been rejected, I would not have stayed, back. I would not have sat and opened that Bible. People's love can confuse you very much. Okay, so today I want to delve a bit into the people who experience this in the Bible, and perhaps that's you too, and God wants you to listen. I know it's been long coming. You feel like, God, I've waited too long. I've been a waiter. Where do I get payment? Yeah, where do I get paid for all this? If nothing else, I waited. Okay, so can I get some remuneration for being a waiter? Because if nothing else, I worked, I created, I did all these things. Nobody paid me. In fact, I was rejected. I was given information that you're not good enough. Okay, we do not care. We do not hear. We do not see you. We do not need you. Move on. Okay. One day you will look back. As I look back now, I see the people who rejected me, and I wish they did it sooner, because that would have been very, very good information. Yeah, but because we only know in part, even the people who keep you for a while longer are thinking, maybe we still have use for her. Okay, maybe we should be honorable. We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't chase her. But by being chased, you actually get to learn more about yourself, how you even handle situations. Yeah, you learn so much. Yeah, and you know what? God will one day put you in that position, and we'll see how you get to handle it. Yeah, so if you're only always crying, what will happen when it's your time and you reject? In fact, you won't remember until it happens. Yeah, and you're like, ooh, I just made a mistake there. So anyway, let us look at Moses, and I think we mentioned it a while back. Moses was, rejected because he killed one of the slave masters, yeah, and he had to leave. That is valid, but it's the very same people who raised them as a son. If he was a true son of the home, they would have negotiated that deal. In fact, they would have been like, you know what, it's not too bad. We can actually make a deal with this family and be like, sorry, we have to, you know, we'll just take care of the burial rites and all that. But Moses was rejected because it was time for him to start training for rescuing God's people. Okay, and then we see who was next. Was it Joseph? or Jacob. I dare say Jacob. No, actually, when you think about it, Abraham would go to all these places as they're journeying with Sarah, yeah, and he would have to give. He didn't have to, but he gave his wife out of fear, yeah. And whenever God spoke to the leaders of those lands, like leave that woman alone. She is somebody's wife. They would take her back and add property, but be like, now go, okay? We can't be, you can't be around us anymore. It's like now, yes, you had come for food, but we don't care anymore. We had offered you shelter, but we don't care anymore. So they will help you and reject you, yeah? Because things are not working as they should. You're not who they thought you were, okay? So that is good information. You don't belong here anymore. And perhaps when you really think about it, they didn't actually come for food. They came from for all these resources, yeah? Because God will cause you to go to places where you're not loved or cared for, but they will give you the very thing that you needed. God was just revealing to me in this season that a place where I was rejected so badly, and I kept thinking, and I have mentioned before that my husband was loved in this place. Why was I rejected? Yeah, because you would think if these people really intend to honor this man, they will keep you, right? But they also wanted to give this man information like your wife is not good. So I was being rejected, and also a lot of false accusations arose in that place. Yeah, I was glad I didn't do the things they said, but you know what? Just the other days when God was revealing, I sent you there for just one thing and one thing only. And they did that thing, okay? They actually performed beyond expectation, okay? And God repaid them for that one thing. So it's God's bill. And so when that work was done, I wasn't supposed to stay there, okay? But it was good I stayed, and I was afflicted, so I may learn God's decrees. Yeah, I had carried that pain for a long time, and then I started getting speculative, like really, these people were not that bad. There was a time we really liked each other. Why did they, reject me so bad? Okay, what is it they saw? I wish they would have given me that information, communicated, and told me that you have to change this and this behavior. Yeah, perhaps because I don't want to guess. My head is getting so hot, and it's not the first place I've been rejected. So why is it happening? So I was so broken. And when I really sat down to calculate, I was like, no, I didn't mess up. There's nothing good, wrong I did. In actual fact, I really served. I really, tried to please. I really, loved, yeah. But it wasn't meant to be. They did the best thing they could ever do, because had I stayed, I would not have, operated the way God wanted me to. I wouldn't have been broken, in order to be made whole. I wouldn't have been given the information I need and to keep it moving, because I was on a journey. This wasn't a destination, okay? So we want to be loved so much, but you are not designed to be loved. In fact, if you look at your life, there was no time you were supposed to be loved, because love makes you stupid sometimes. Don't you agree? Anyway, so one time Abimelech had to be commanded to bring Sarah back, yeah, because he took Sarah thinking it's Abraham's sister, okay? And there's a song in Kikuyu, for those who know Kikuyu, and it says, Abimeleku shokia mokoyo waja, todonde mboka wende. Abimeleku shokia mokoyo waja, todonde mboka wende. Omo something. Now I know my mom will really laugh at me for forgetting. I forgot just then. I don't know that word, but you are keeping somebody's wife, okay? So send her. And the same thing happened. They sent her and they gave this man what he needed, yeah? So it's like they paid penance for that, for even thinking they could have this woman, okay? So when you don't belong with people, it is a costly price to stay with them. Do you understand? This rejection may make you feel small and very low on yourself, yeah? But imagine you're so precious and so highly esteemed by God that he cannot let you stay 1 minute longer with people you do not belong with, okay? So it's best you go. God will give you an explanation. And I promise you today, before you receive your promise, yeah, and for some of you, let me just tell you, because you feel like it's coming tomorrow, yeah, this may sound like bad news, but it's not, yeah. For some of you, your restoration is coming mid next year. In the meantime, you have to keep repenting. You do not move from that place. You have to keep repenting until God, you feel that release. Yeah, God is going to communicate all these things, and then because you'll have cleansed, okay, you'll have been made new. God will start installing what you need for that next season, and it is all a process. Okay, so this journey, though it was long, though it was hard, though it was tempestuous, very, very stormy waters, was very intentional. Okay, but Jesus said, yeah, you cannot put new wine in old wine skins. Okay, so you have learned everything that made you unacceptable. You have learned everything that was holding you back. Yeah, for some, I wish sometimes people would say, you're not the generation that actually achieves this thing in this lifetime. Okay, somebody should tell us that sometimes. Somebody should give us that revelation. But I'm telling you now so that you observe. Yeah, I do hope many of you have gone and written your drew up your family tree. I do know that some people are drawing up the Abrahamic family tree, and shocking yourselves, yeah? Seeing like the tribe of Judah and where it came from, it wasn't even from the wife that he married when he went away. It was from the daughter-in-law that he sent away, and she got twins, okay? This is where the lineage of Joseph comes in, okay? So rejection is not necessarily a bad thing, okay? It may feel bad, but that pressure is what makes you birth a new thing, okay? You do not go and make friends with midwives in hospital, okay? They may treat you nicely, but after you're done birthing, you have to go home. You have to go home and raise your baby, okay? No matter how famously you're treated, you cannot stay there. They will not raise your baby for you. Okay, so after that pain of labor, after birthing a new thing, you have to go. Okay, so anyway, we see next comes Isaac. Yeah, he's rejected because of his wife, sent away from the land. Yeah, because it is time to leave Gerar. You have done good. Yeah, you dug wells, and we see him digging wells that his father had dug up, and they were closed up. Yeah, these people of this land had all these wells all the time. Yeah, they had no information that Isaac could come by. But whenever he dug, so they didn't dig the wells. Why? But anyway, this guy comes by, he digs the wells that his father had, put in place. Okay? This means you're going by where your people have been, okay? So they're digging the wells, and the shepherds of the land take away these wells, okay? They say these are ours. We also need these waters. You guys don't belong here. These wells are in our land. And Isaac could just gingerly move on. He never used to carry these things. He never used to like fight with people over things. He was secure. He knew who his father was, okay? And he knew his father had dug other wells, okay? So sometimes when you're rejected, stop fighting about that thing. There's so much provision. Keep moving. And so he goes to the next place. I think I don't remember the name of the first well, but I remember. Actually, let's look at it. It's Genesis, I dare say 26. Yeah, Genesis 26:19. Isaac's servants dug in Isaac's servants also dug in the Gerar Valley and discovered a well of fresh water. But then the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed the spring. This is our water, they said, and they argued over it with Isaac's herdsmen. So Isaac named the well Esek, which means argument, okay? Esek, which means argument. Have you ever left a place and put a tag on it, like you call those people Jezebels, or you call them demons, or you call them something because they rejected you, yeah? We must stay humble because God will make you sometimes return and be like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you guys were doing, but you're giving them information that you are actually sent by the Father to reject me because I'm kind of stupid. As a chosen one, we are kind of stupid when we are loved because you're so used to being rejected. When you're shown some love, you can stay and serve, yeah, in ways you're not supposed to. You're supposed to keep on your journey and stay focused, okay? So this Esek means argument. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again there was a dispute over it. So Isaac named it Sitna, which means hostility, okay? Sitna means hostility. So he wasn't getting any good thing at this point, yeah? Abandoning that one, Isaac moved on and dug another well. This time there was no dispute over it. So Isaac named the place Rehoboth, which means open space. I feel like the worst names have the best meaning. What is this? Esek and Sitna sound so good. But then this place is called Rehoboth, means open space. For he said, at last the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper. So there was no quarrel over this. Yeah, it's like these people had enough water now he was getting his own. Yeah, so have you ever felt like you worked on a thing but you didn't get any recognition for it? It's like other people just took it or just ignored your efforts and went ahead to enjoy that thing that you did. Yeah, but now you're like, okay, fine, that wasn't mine. You still have the creative power, so you keep moving. Yeah, so he goes to this place and it's an open space. Yeah, it's called Rehoboth. For he said, at last the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper in this land. Okay, so he feels like in this place we'll have the water and nobody is fighting us. From there, though, Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him on the night of his arrival. Do you guys see how there's a place you will reach and God now will speak to you? Yeah, and I can tell you in my journey, there are places I didn't even know that God speaks like that. In the third last place I stayed in Kenya, or the second time we were applying for our visa, towards the very end, when I said I will move out after we were denied the visa, I said I no longer want to live here because it was a topmost floor and I was tired of climbing the stairs. Sometimes when there was no water, you're carrying the water up the stairs, you feel like you're going to fall and topple over. So I was like, no, I have to move out. Yeah. And when at the tail of that season, I remember hearing a conversation in the spirit, yeah, and I was like, what? I'm imagining things. So I told my mom, and my mom said, no, surely such a thing is not happening. Okay, so wait, stop thinking like that, stop imagining things. And then I moved to the very last place we stayed before we left Kenya. And I want to tell you, just because you're hearing word about restoration doesn't mean it will happen then, okay? The vision is for a set time, though it tarries, wait, but make sure you've written your vision down, okay? So in this place I moved in, and it was so symbolic, even though I didn't know how to, hear God's voice. But I'm telling you, in that last place, he had spoken to me also, yeah, warning me about something, okay? So I wasn't really trained, but he would send somebody else to confirm what I'm hearing, okay? But I was like still, thinking, I don't know. I feel it, but I don't know. So in this time, you're operating with your own feelings. When I moved to the last place we stayed, it was December, the date was 12, and it was 2012. And God spoke to me that day in a voice he had spoken to me before. And he said, in this place, I will fight your enemies, okay? Now, I will tell you something about people who hear God's voice but are not trained in it. They keep talking, they keep yapping about it, yeah? And that is why God doesn't talk to you all the time, because you yap about it like, oh, I'm so special, God is speaking. And yet you do not even know how to keep the secrets you're supposed to keep. Some you're supposed to tell, others you're supposed to listen until the right time, yeah? So I would call my mom and I was like, you remember when I told you, that God let me hear a conversation? Yeah, so in this place, he's telling me, I will fight your enemies. I told you I have enemies, and my mom is like, okay, but I don't think that is happening. And then I got evidence, okay, like a physical evidence that these people were against me, okay? So there were all these enemies surrounding me. There are enemies, and there will be enemies in your journey, okay? There'll be people standing in your way. There'll be people, you know, not wanting for you to get that to the place, yeah? But be of good courage, because God is very intentional that you get to where you're going, okay? Sometimes He will cause you to be isolated, because that is the only way you will continue serving Him, okay? So from there, Isaac moves to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him on the night of his arrival. I am the God of your father Abraham, he said. Do not be afraid, for I am with you, and I will bless you. I will multiply your descendants, and they will become a great nation. I will do this because of my promise to Abraham, my servant. Then Isaac built an altar there and worshipped the Lord. He set up his camp at that place, and his servants dug another well. Okay. In this place, he called it Sweet Waters, because the Lord had appeared to him. The water was also very tasty. It was good enough to be drunk, and, you know, for the animals to drink. And he calls this place Beersheba, a place of sweet waters, okay? And to this very day, the place is still known as Beersheba, okay? The well is still known as Beersheba. And we see an encounter with Abimelech. They came and told him, you know, we have been watching you, and we see that God, you know, is like your God's own. Yeah, He has been blessing you. Actually, let's look at it. One day, King Abimelech came from Gerar with his advisor, Ahuzzath, and also Phicol, his army commander. Why have you come here? Isaac asked. You obviously hate me, since you kicked me off your land. They replied, we can plainly see that the Lord is with you. So we want to enter into a sworn treaty with you. Let's make a covenant. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never troubled you. Now they were making peace with him, even though they had, you know, chased him away. But they see that, you know, he is with God, because he is still expanding. Yeah, good things are happening with him. Let's make a covenant. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never troubled you. We have always treated you well. And we sent you away from us in peace. Okay? They recognize that they did. Yeah? This is where you see somebody has been dealt with by God until they realize that what they did was wrong. And I don't know if you've ever had somebody who acted as an enemy actually coming to apologize to you. Take that thing and honor, because it means these people recognize what they did in the heat of the moment. Yeah. And it takes a very big person to actually come and say sorry. Okay. So remember that. I remember people who, you know, would call me later and tell me, we are very sorry about what happened, and you know, forgive us, and I love you with the love of Christ. Okay. And that is very informational. They're telling you, if it was just me, okay, because I recognize what happened, yeah, I didn't feel right, I didn't like it, okay, but because Christ commands us to love, I know I should have loved, yeah. And I want to assure you that I still love you. And I have also seen people coming to make peace, because what they know about, you know, God, and what they know about his precepts, you know, commands or judges them, yeah, inside. So they know they have to come and make peace. So when people come to make peace, that is not your time to fight them back. Okay, you already did this, you already talked, yeah, and complained, and you also recognize, you know, what their part in the you know, thing was. Okay. So you coming by people is not easy. Sometimes you really you know, jar people, you know, you really rub people the wrong way. Okay. But God is using you to awaken their consciousness to a certain thing, but that doesn't make you special than them. Remember, God has chosen you, and he has chosen them before you. Okay. So before you came around, these people were chosen, and they were put in the service of God. Okay. They were put there for people like you to do a certain thing for you. Okay. Even Penina, Hannah's co-wife, is, you know, Hannah should have thanked God for her, because that pressure caused her to ask for a child, and she got the child. Okay. And God validated her through that. Okay. So anyway, Now look how the okay, so let's go back to verse 29. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never troubled you. We have always treated you well, and we sent you away from us in peace. And now look how the Lord has blessed you. So Isaac prepared a covenant feast to celebrate the treaty, okay? He agreed to make peace, and they ate and drank together. Early the next morning, they each took a solemn oath not to interfere with each other. Then Isaac sent them home again, and they left him in peace. Okay. That very day, Isaac's servants came and told him about a new well they had dug. We found water. Now, this is after moving to Beersheba. They exclaimed. So Isaac named the place Sheba, which means oath, a place of oath, okay, a covenant. And to this day, the town that grew up there is called Beersheba, which means well of the oath. At the age of 40, Esau married two Hittite wives. Okay, so that's about Esau. But how beautiful is that? And I don't know if this is the same well where Hagar found water, this place of oath. Could it be? It's possible, yeah. Biririri shiba bibiri rai gedi makyoria ore moyo onyedete. If you guys think I'm insufferable with these songs, this was my whole childhood. Whenever people met, they would get into Kegosho. Whenever people met, they would get into Kegosho. So when you look down memory lane, you found that your people were going through the very same thing, worshiping and seeking God, yeah? Because all these songs gave them peace, okay? It is said of the African Americans, nowadays they don't like being called that. They don't like being called the Black Americans either. So, yeah, they used to say that whenever they went into the interior of Africa, they would sing and praise, and these people would say, these are not our people, and that is how they would sell them to slavery. I can tell you that is not true, because all over Africa, people would sing, okay? Unless it's another different thing, that I'm expecting. But I know Black people to be people who sing in harvest time. When they want to invoke blessings, they sing and they dance and they play drums, yeah? So that was the life, okay? Always, always. Yeah, so after that, we see Jacob going to Laban's house. He's accepted, but later he's rejected. The sons are encroaching. They want to take away what he has, earned. And then later now we see Joseph being rejected by his brothers, and that was to fulfill purpose, okay? So whenever you're rejected, you may feel like you're unworthy of love, and you may carry yourself in that manner. Remember, in the places where you think you should belong, especially because there's even a certain entitlement we carry, like we should not be rejected in churches, we should not be rejected, in such places, or even in, these are the places where the spiritual, it's a spiritual arena. Who best to know what is happening? Who best to know what kind of a spirit you're carrying? Who best to know that you don't even belong there? You need to keep it moving. Okay? So we need to look back and thank our rejectors, because in so doing, they redirected us to the place where we are supposed to go. If you're there, say hi. Hi, Tom. Hi, Heather. Some messages are hidden because they kinda. Oh, Heather's message. Your message was hidden because of all the drama. Dare I say? Yeah. So when you come to a live and write a message that YouTube deems as dangerous, they will block that message. Okay. So just maintain the respects. Just say hi, and yeah, if you're there, just say something, okay? So this rejection, even though we read these Bible stories, these are not limited to Bible people, okay? It is us still today. When you go to a place and you're rejected or treated a certain way, you have to go back to God and listen to the time He tells you to move, okay? Or He will tell you to stay, because there's a reason why you're staying. He has sent you there for a purpose, and that is why you call yourselves chosen people. It's not because you'll be accepted in places, it's because you're most likely able, you most likely are being used by God as a vessel to go and tell His people a thing, okay? And that is why He was telling Jeremiah, I knew you before you were born. I pointed you out as my prophet, okay? So you go tell my people this. And Jeremiah kept being rejected and scorned, thrashed. A lot of things were happening, okay? So when God starts a thing in you, it may not endure, okay? It may be, you'll be so broken. And I love this message where God in Jeremiah 18 tells Jeremiah, go to the potter's house and watch what he's doing. And Jeremiah goes there and he sees the potter make a vessel, yeah, from the clay. And then he dims it and fit, okay? And he destroys the whole thing and starts it all over again, okay? And this is the whole message. God is telling you that, yes, I know you exist, I have seen you, I have made you, yeah? But now I want to make you all over again, because this old building has been so messed up, okay? It doesn't please me. So I want to make you all over again, okay? And in repenting, you are cleansed. You're made new, okay? Kuoshwa kwa damu itutakasayo ya kondoo, ziwe safi nguo nyeupe mno, zimeoshwa kwa damu ya kondoo. My voice is out, but I really am in that mood, yeah? I'm celebrating everybody who is coming to a new thing, a new season. And when you come into that season, take it from me, because I am the master of messes, yeah? God has been teaching me about everything. And that is why we call ourselves the chosen ones, because we make so many mistakes. God allows us to see and feel everything that pertains to our journey, not just everything, yeah? So when you make mistakes, when you fall, you fall down. A righteous man falls down 7 times, and yet the 8th still is able to rise, okay? Because God makes it so. He raises you, okay? So when you fall, wipe yourself and keep moving, because God, the potter, wants to put you back together again. He'll make you a beautiful vessel, a vessel of honor, okay? So I hope that has been good encouragement. And as I said, I'm very excited for you guys, yeah? Some people are coming into marriages that at first will look like, oh, is this the beginning, small beginnings, but God will show you why you had to learn the things you had to learn before you got into it, yeah? Some people will be very surprised because they will be married old, yeah? And it will be the happiest thing that ever happened to you. You'll be like, how, But you have been remembered. God is faithful like that, okay? Yes, for a moment, He turned His face away from everything that was happening. But with loving kindness, He takes you back and rebuilds you, okay? With, puts a new foundation and rebuilds you with precious stones. This time it will be beautiful, okay? So it is good that you are, it is good that you are afflicted by all these things, all these experiences that you went through, so you may learn His decrees. How wonderful is that? Okay, so as God puts you together, you will have learned so much, yeah? And I said yesterday, there are people who this is happening for the last time. You won't get another chance again, okay? So as God puts you together, remember all the things that you have learned. Do you remember how, as the children of Israel were coming into Canaan, God would say, keep these laws, yeah? Keep these laws. At first, yeah, you see where where God made the tablets on behalf of Moses, like he wrote on the tablets. And then Moses, he tells Moses, the people have sinned. And as Moses is coming down, because he had this thing of anger, he got so angry at seeing what the people had done after seeing God's might and his, the way God had rescued his people. And Moses is like, what kind of people are these? He threw the tablets on the golden calf, yeah, to break it. Hi, Ajile. Karibu sana. I'm just finishing. Jambo, jambo, jambo. So Moses breaks these tablets that God himself wrote on, fashioned and wrote on. Okay? And do you know what had to happen? Moses had to write to now chisel some tablets, yeah, make them out of stone. That is a lot of work, and write on them himself. You know, so the first time that you make a mistake, God is able, capable, willing to make you over again, okay, and give you another chance. The second time, even more so. The third time, he will do that. Your whole family here back at home, keep going. See, I know who that is. Mambo, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying the word today, okay? And I hope you get it, yeah? It's the things we talk about. So, the first time he broke these, tablets because he had not made them himself. He did not understand what goes into it. And now God makes him fashion the tablets again, yeah, on behalf of these obstinate people. So I tell you, when you call yourself a chosen one, it is work, it is pain, it is carrying the people, okay? It is carrying the cross on your back, yeah? And, a lot of people are saying all this talk of altars, and yet Jesus came to set us free. He did. But you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, okay? So once you know the background and you know what shackles you and shackles your people, then you accept you accept Jesus without any qualms. You're like, oh, Lamb of God, I come, I surrender. I surrender all to you. Then he will take you, wash you clean. You'll be like a new vessel. The old is gone. Behold, new things he does. Okay. And before you know it, you'll be a new vessel, a more worthy vessel. Okay. Yeah. So true. So yesterday I was laughing with a chosen one in the family, and I was telling her, one day we will look at people eating and making merry, and we'll be like, they're just reaping from all the fasting we did and all the crying we did, yeah? Because it was tough. It's tough. It's tough. The price you pay is tough. See, that day when you come abroad and you go to Canada, you're working, nobody's bothering you. In fact, they call you the emperor, the conqueror, the lion is here. And you're like, Auntie, what were you saying? Canada is not bad. I fought for you. Okay, so yeah, we make the path, okay? We create a path for others, okay? As God creates the path for you. He says he has gone ahead to make the crooked path straight, okay? Cheka tu mwanangu, cheka tu anguka chini. I tell them these things and they laugh. Eh? Yeah, but yeah, it will happen. Amen, 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 amen. Okay. Yeah, so Moses had to do all these things for the people. And at some point he's looking at these people like, okay, I had to make the tablets. You guys didn't see, didn't even think I'm this great. I did this for you. We did this thing all over again, the commandments thing. You guys didn't see. We had to break, do you know Moses ground the golden calf and put it in water and made people drink? They died. He had a temper, and let me tell you, his temper was nothing. Me, I would have made it worse. Yes, imagine the path we've cut. And when we tell people, they are like, hey, so did I ask you? And if somebody had told us that it would be so hard, we wouldn't have accepted. Then we accept that call. Yeah. So there's this episode in the desert where they're being bitten by snakes, and Moses had to carve out a snake and hang it up. Yeah. Ajile. Yeah. Yeah. We laugh because we know. And he's like, the only thing you need to do is look up on that cross, on that snake on the pole. And they're like, it's so hard, it's so painful. The snakes are biting me. They are bitten and they die. That's all you had to do. I shaped the snake out of bronze, you people. I did all of this. That is all you have to do. I feel like that when I tell people, can you pray? Can we fast these 3 days? Me, I have peas. I'm a breastfeeding mom. Can you do a Daniel's fast? No, I don't even like mbogas. Yeah, and yet we need that capacity. We need to build that capacity. Okay? But anyway, at the right time, God will make it so that when you hear a fast, you're like, where? Let me get into that fasting mode, yeah? So these people couldn't even look at the snake, some of them died. Later, these people are still not listening. So like the pastors who look at me and they're like, yeah, you came by my church, you thought it was easy. I am sorry, parents, I am sorry. I'm seriously, I know what it's like, yeah. And so in the end, Moses is like, these people don't think I'm anything. They don't see me, they don't hear me. I will just, you need water. He hits the rock to get water. God allows it. Water gushes out of the stone. Because these people were like, oh, the water is bitter. Sijui nini. Why did you take us out of Egypt? Wait. Hits the rock. I have powers. I still have my rod. The water comes. And God is like, you know what, Moses? You won't make it because it's like you also don't get it. How many times have you come to my presence? You even came out shining. You and me are besties. But every time you keep trying to prove yourself to these people. Did you get the message there, guys? Ajile is saying, one of my someone told me they never asked to come Maju. It's my fault. Hugs. Hugs, my dear. Where? We Ati when I arrive in heaven, I need to have a good chat with Moses. I'm telling you, where is the lie? Hey, because hey, when I arrived here, I knew my sister will not survive the workplaces, especially when she gets contempt, people treating her at certain time. But people don't treat my sister badly. It's me who gets it, yeah? So I was like, oh, I'm going to build a chapati empire. And then I'll be like, sis, tupike tu chapo. Yeah. See, yeah, it's very personal, Hey, I was like, guy, when I think of my cousins, yeah, our family is into food production. God, when I think of it, I bake cakes. My cousin does catering, food catering. My sister makes juices, fresh juices. I just make up her excellence. So I was like, guy, these people, because all I was thinking in my head is that as the pioneer, I have made the way. Okay. It is my responsibility, build a business when they come. I'm like, okay, this is the house I got for the family. So wewe yako hapa chapo, make the chapos and the juices, whatever. You're going to, this is our empire. Where? Because I was like, I do not want my people to suffer speaking English. Ajile, have you ever seen that joke where an African arrives home so exhausted because of all the English they had to speak? Well done. I didn't do that. The business fell. That business was all about God introducing me to the Kenyans abroad, okay? And if I didn't make it clear in the stories, God was vexed about the people back home, about how the people back home treat the people who come, yeah? So all those stories of Nilikutuma, my friend, did I send you abroad? Yeah? Do you remember how hot you were feeling when you were leaving? And you're like, yeah, I remember, but now I have really suffered. We don't even talk like that. Kusafa nayo. I don't know if I'll talk with Moses. I really want to connect with David though. David, not even Solomon. I feel like he was spoiled. I want to sit by David's side and hear him strum the harp, you know, and be like, my guy, why were you so messy? I feel like I get him. I've been so messy. Allah, yeah. Mama, I really wanted you to come and roll the chapels. Yeah. So God has been so mad at the people back home, yeah, because everything we've ever learned, just like the firstborns in families, you obey the parent and you take care of the family, okay? But the family will abuse you, use you, misuse you, call you names. You're the firstborn. You've done everything. They'll be over here gossiping like, who does she think she is? Deputy parent, muone. Yeah. Ajile is saying, oh yes, English does Englishing. By the time you go home, you just need a good laugh or a good cry. Like having I spoken English. You want to call your mother and speak in Kikuyu because guy. Si nyinyi wote, kwa nini sis angekuacha. Mtu wacha watoto wake, mimi niliacha wangu. Tutaanza kufight hapa kwa hii live. You know. So you are like, hey, mama. Yeah. I especially love how the Luos call home. You meet them on the street being like, you know, mama, nade, Rio nade. I have someone spoken English. Relax, pole basi. Akinyi watu mtashinda hapa mmenichekesha and I need to go so you guys can go back home. And then, you know, you tell your mother how hard it is and she's like, but see, you are there. Make the most of it. And you're like, I came here to cry. When I come to cry, please hug me and wipe my tears. Listen to me. Yeah, listen to me. I know how it is like. And she's like, so and so's daughter doesn't cry as much. What's wrong with you? She's happy even. She's even started 3 companies. What are you doing? You know. So, and with this world, our mothers know now. There are people who are total successes. What's wrong with you? Okay. So, for people who feel like they have failed abroad, God is with you as a mighty warrior. How beautiful is that? He has been watching and he is going to perform his word, yeah? The only reason why you didn't succeed is because of the how your family is, okay? So the reason why he brought you to another land is that you may bear that new thing in the new land, okay? So God wants you to be comforted. He wants you to know that not everybody gets to break through that way. Not everybody can do, you know, tricks and come into blessings easily because some people do tricks, yeah? Some people even lie, like Isaac, you know? But you have had to go, your journey has had to be extra hard because of all the curses you have to break, yeah? All the chains you have to loosen. God gave you that job. It was hard. You need to cry. When you go home, you need to be spoiled. See, unafonipikia genyama, chapo, you know. Unani comfort, ndio siku ile you come abroad, somebody will be home to comfort you. Yeah? Because it is quite difficult. It is difficult. See, did I ever tell you, one day I took a bus when I went to Dieppe and I was just, yeah, chapo. Utani massage miguu. I don't even believe you. You'll be like, auntie, ebu nikulalie. Ulinipikia chapo. By the way, let me not get into it. But yeah, history ni yako. So this one time I'm exploring Dieppe because I want to stay alive. It had been so hard. But this was a winter day. So I went to Dollarama. I want to buy containers to put my flour to just start life. Yeah, customize my life so I can feel good about it. When I left the dollar store, I didn't check the time. And I used to have that Kenyanese thing where you just go to the bus stop and the bus comes. So I waited. The last bus I think had just gone. So I had to wait like 30 minutes. And the cold seeped into my feet through my boots. And I got cold. And I got numb. So I realized while I'm standing there, if the bus comes, I can't move. My legs are numb. So I cried. I cried, and I was thinking, my mother doesn't even know how hard it is here. Nobody knows, nobody cares. My husband doesn't know, you know. And when I think about my children, I really cry. I'm like, will I ever see them again? And if the bus comes, so I was like, God, if the don't send the bus now. I don't even want it to come because my legs are numb. I know if I move, I'll fall. You know, I'll fall into the snow. The legs are not moving. Ile baridi nasikia hata sitaki kitu ka juice. Yeah, juice moto labda. Wouldn't make sense though. So I really cried, and I was thinking about all my people, and do they even know how I'm suffering? But then I was like, I don't even want them to know. It will be so embarrassing that I'm not, you know, I'm suffering. Maybe at that time they're thinking she has a BMW, you know, a heated BMW. The cold doesn't matter. You know, they go abroad and they buy vehicles very fast. That's not the case. You have to pay the price. Hey, Aki. I hope you never had to live in a cold place, Ajile. Because Canada whipped me black and blue, yeah? So, guys, thank you. I've had a good laugh. I love it. Thank you, guys, for joining. And I hope you start from the beginning because of the things I started addressing at first. But let me tell you, see, the thing about, but then I love your YouTube name or the name you're using. See, I love it. By the time you're coming, hallelujah, I'll be able to buy you a Mini Cooper. Na tuweke stickers, you know. But for me, I had to pay the price. You know, you see, even Uncle had a car, but I wasn't near him. Picking and packing in those heavy boots and 5 kg coat waiting for the bus. Where? Yeah. My God, you've just given me a mental image of especially shopping for the family and you don't have a car. You go to the bus stop with all the bags. My girl, hugs. Ish. And then the boots have to be extra heavy for you to be able to navigate the snow. Over 20 years ago, OG, where? Yeah, in winter, of course. And then the sun gets hot, like every season is just so extreme. Ati sijui nikimbie sai. Utapata gari mama. Jipange. Yeah? Yeah. So because we have paid the price, okay? Even Uncle had paid the price, but because of the altars zenyu, I had to do it. Come. Na ukuje na chapo. Yeah. Lazima ukam ndio ulete shosho uweze kumpeleka kwa airport. Mweze kuvuka airport. Anyway, yeah, we are just dreaming. Anyway, guys, it's been real. Thank you so much for your company. Ajile, I thank God for you so much. And I pray that he has restored and is going to still restore even more. Nikufichie kwa mfuko. Nini unifichie chapo ama? Wait. I have a story. Ajile is saying in Samanayo, I used to see people in Tumbo Cats. I used to zuba. Listen, Ajile, the year is 2018. I'm about to leave St. John's, okay? It is summer-ish, yeah? In July 2018. I go downtown St. John's. It's a cold place, but when it gets a little hot, the wazungus have to come out, yeah, and show off their flat tummies. Guess what I see? A girl in shorts and a tank top, and do you know what she has for us? For a scarf, for a scarf, a snake. Karibu sana. Red Sea Connie. Oh, like the proverbial. Ah, chapo. Just tu mnajua mtashikwa tu. Yeah. So the place is chilly. Look, I didn't think the snake was real. The scream I let out. She was a tiny, tiny girl. Tiny shorts, tiny top, and a snake. An orange snake. The way I screamed. And she really had a laugh. She really, those sneering life like African. Nyoka, mama. Nyoka. Now she was wearing it fashionably, yeah? But there used to be a guy who would walk around with his big snake around the neighborhood. Not my neighborhood, my friend's neighborhood. A big snake. Yeah, and when you live as roommates, some people have snakes. Yeah, they will never be my roommates or my friends. Yeah. Yeah. Hey? Yeah. So there are things we can't do. I'm telling you, people are peculiar. Nyoka mama. Yeah, some people will take their snakes out to bask, yeah? So it's a thing. Actually, there's a house that burnt near me a while ago, like more than 2 years ago. And they found so many snakes. They had to be rescued. There were a snake in like a crate. Lots of snakes in that house. Somebody had to rescue because people keep snakes. Hatushindwe shaitani. It's a lifestyle, oh. Nikibarua, man. Nikibarua. And that is why God fights for us, because we can't really fight. Can you imagine how much God fights for us before we even awaken to the truth, before we become aware of all the enemies? God tells you, I do not want you there. You have been rejected for a reason. You're like, what is the reason? Why was everyone else loved? But you're a peculiar people, a chosen people, Yeah. So asante guys. Yeah, and karibu sana. I see you said thank you for the word. Thank you guys too. It's been real. I love hanging with you guys. May God bless you, expand you, restore you. It's a very good season. Just praise, yeah? Praise, sing aloud. Let people think you're crazy. That is how you usher the blessings, yeah? If you can imagine a king, the King David sang until his clothes fell off, singing to God. It's the honor that comes out of knowing him. My wig, thank you though. It's my old wig. I wish though. Yeah, haven't you seen me with my short hair that I had to cut in this season? Thank you, Sana. Thank you. Okay, God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.